Okay, your next step is to glaze your pottery. So you've got the color on it, which you put on with the underglaze, which is colored paint. And now you're going to be creating this clear, shiny coating. And you are required to put 2 light layers of glaze inside the pottery, and then you have an option to put glaze on part of the outside. So if you put glaze over the color, it will just give it a shiny look to it. If you don't put glaze over the color, it will be more of a matte, flat look, and both are fine. It's just a preference thing. The only reason we for sure put glaze on the inside is to make the inside easier to clean, easier to eat out of, more functional. So when you're ready, you put your pottery on your piece of newspaper, and this one's already glazed, but I'm just going to show it to you because I don't have one to glaze. And then you are going to get a container that says, you can't see this, clear glaze on it. And you are going to need from this container a larger brush. So then you're all set. The glaze, when you look at it, will look colored. This one's pink, sometimes it is blue. It doesn't matter. This is actually a tint in it to help you see where you put the glaze on your piece of pottery. When I fire it, the color goes away and it will become see-through or clear. So then you're going to be dipping just the tip of your brush like that into the glaze, so we don't want a brush dripping all over the place. And you're going to start out putting it on the inside. This one's already glazed, so I don't need to do it, but you put it on the inside, and you're going to put glaze on the inside and all the way up over this edge here. So inside to here. You're going to do the whole thing once on the inside. Light coat, shouldn't be dripping, shouldn't be running, you're just dipping the tip of your brush in it. And then once you do that, give it a minute or two to dry, and then you're going to do the whole inside again. And it's harder to tell on the second time if you've done it. I find a starting place and I just work my way around. So then the whole inside and this upper edge will have glaze on it. Then you have the option to either stop there, and which means everything on the outside will be not shiny, or like this piece of pottery, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I have glaze down to the edge of the fish, up over here down to the edge of the, so this whole upper part is glazed and this part down here is not. So if you choose to glaze more than the, all right, you've done the inside. If you choose to glaze the outside, you have to find a stopping point that allows you not to put glaze on the bottom or about a ½ an inch from the bottom. No glaze. So if you choose that option, there cannot be any glaze on the bottom or ½ an inch from the bottom. Everything else you can do 2 light coats. The reason why is when glaze gets heated up, there's ground glass in it which melts, and if there were glaze here and I had it on the kiln shelf, it would stick to the kiln shelf and I would have to break a piece of pottery to get it off the kiln shelf. So I won't fire it if I see the glaze here. But otherwise, you are welcome to glaze the outside 2 light coats. Then, when you're done with that, clean up. You are going to put the lid back on your glaze. Make sure it's on there good, and return that. You are going to clean your brush out. And let me give you some information about how to clean a brush. You put soap in your hand, you work the bristles of the brush into that soap, it cleans your hands too, and then you rinse out the brush, you rinse off your hand, and you always put brushes bristles up. So see how the bristles of the brush is up. If you put them bristles down, it ruins the brush. So bristles up in the container, and I'll have to clean that one later, so I'm going to keep it out. And then you are going to carefully carry your glazed pottery over and return it to where you got it so I can fire it. And then it will be all nice and shiny next time you see it. If your newspaper is in pretty decent shape, go put it back in the stack with the other newspaper. If it's completely messed up, recycle it. So at that point, you are ready to have your pottery fired a second time. And then you will get it back. We will put them on Artsonia, evaluate them, and get them ready to turn in. And then after I go through and grade them, you will get them back and you will be able to take them home at that point. So that's hopefully everything you need to know about adding glaze.